90s Spice Girls!
Hi, I'm Jerry. I'm a Leo. I'm 21. I'm from Watford.
I'm Emma. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Finchley in London.
I'm Victoria. I'm 21 years old. I'm Melanie C.
Hi, my name's Melanie B.
I'm 20 years old. I'm from Liverpool.
My favourite expression is girlies with an attitude.
I'm an Aries, and my best thing is my acrylic fingernails.
I'm a Gemini, nutty, nutty, nutty Gemini.
My favourite thing, apart from performing, is football.
I feel like I'm on a blind date.
The girls don't know this yet, right? But when the Haagen-Dazs went missing when we were living together, it was me and Melanie Brown. We ate it all.
I can't tell you any of the secrets, they'll kill me. One of them is actually a man.
I practice my dance routines in front of the mirror with a hairbrush.
Jerry goes to the toilet with the door open.
Well, let me see.
Melanie C, I thought she was Elvis Presley's daughter. She was singing like that.
When I first met Jerry, I thought she was absolutely mad. She had on some mad outfit.
Emma, she was just like a little baby.
I just thought she was sweet.
Vicky, I thought, was lovely. She was sort of the elegant one.
She always had a handbag, which I thought was quite funny.
Melanie Brown was a complete nutter and I loved her bits.
I thought she was really talented.
They're mad.
So you want to be a Spice Girl now? Maybe, maybe not. But if you'd like to win a copy of that song, ring the teleops now on 0800 001 001 and tell them how many girls there are in Spice Girls. And that is the end of Tinsel Talk.
If you want to be my lover.
But nobody, that was very good, you know, and I reckon the Spice Girls are pretty good, but as far as I'm concerned, no one can beat our very own New Zealand talent, purest form. I reckon New Zealand made. That's great, isn't it?
Because we've been together now two and a half, 3 years. And we've really prepared ourselves as a package. Even before we signed to our manager, we'd written about 35 songs. We'd already formed the Spice package and the Spice movement.
Hang on, the Spice movement? Is that anything to do with paprika and cinnamon?
We've got a second single coming out, we've got an album coming out, we've got plans for next year. Do you know what I mean? Because we're international as well, we're not just like getting here, we want to get everywhere.
I would say about 85% of our fan base is actually girls.
Yeah.
You know.
But what we always said that...
We like boys though, send them in boys.
Hardly feminist preachings, but the Spice Girls maintain they're in control and no male Svengali is going to tell them what to do.
When we go out on stage, we're trying to sort of empower other girls out there, saying you can do it exactly what you choose. You know, we're just trying to sort of give them a bit of
I think
energy.
this is like an adventure for us. This is the first time we've been out in the public eye. It's the first time we've been given an opportunity, and we're using it to the full, whether it be through interviews, through our lyrics, through the vibe and the message that we give off. So this to us is like one big adventure, and if as many people can join it, then that's excellent. Do you know what I mean? Even if we make one person smile for 2 minutes, then
even if we make
have
them be
served
sick,
our purpose.
that's fine.
It's like this is the start of a journey that's going to go on for ages.
Yeah.
So
Once we do something.
Yeah, we're doing
take
good,
them up there.
good, hopefully.
If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. Make it last forever. Friendship never ends. If you want to be my lover, you have got to give. Taking is too easy, but that's the way it is.
Bit ropey, but there you go.
Cover may be about to blow from one of the biggest new names in music. The Spice Girls have shrilled and thrilled their way to the top of the charts everywhere the past few months. But now, a little-known Israeli singer claims the Spices stole her song.
But it's not funny, says one songwriter who claims the Spice Girls hit sounds just like this. Edith Sheckman recorded Come to Me in Israel 2 years ago, and she says the Spice Girls hit is very similar.
They might have heard it and were influenced by it. And I agree it's similar. It's not exactly the same. I didn't say it's exactly the same, but it is similar.
The man behind hundreds of hits agrees, but mixing the tracks, he says that isn't enough in court.
I don't think she'd have a leg to stand on. I don't think a lawyer in this country would touch that case, because we have a thing here called prior art. In other words, if you can prove to a judge that somebody did it before you did it, then they can't claim the case.
And in his opinion, they're both similar to the Bee Gees' track Grease.
Well, if LJ plays the Spice Girls, you can hear the top line is, now play Grease.
Similar? Well, tonight, the Spice Girls arriving in Paris gave ITN's reporter a Spice Girl brush-off.
How do you feel about being sued, then?
But it seems that no one can stop them. Their bouncy music is now soaring up American charts, and they seem set to conquer the world.
Quick, we're knackered.
The Spice Girls were home at Heathrow tonight, the American market now apparently in the bag. British pop is being reborn in the USA. Their single Wannabe is number 4 and rising in the charts there. Their album sold 500,000 within days. Record executives are hearing cash registers.
Once you get the American market, you know, you can sell millions of albums and you're set for life. So, you know, this is for a tired old record executive like me, this is a dream come true.
You've hit the jackpot, haven't you?
We hope so.
Americans buy nearly 1/3 of the world's CDs and tapes, but only a few foreign performers succeed here. Spice Girls have found the formula.
They are fabulous. So much energy, them dancing around, singing, their harmonies, they're beautiful.
I think they're cool. My girlfriend's just getting me into them. We love pop music in America, and you sent us Blur and Oasis, which is kind of heavy. Now you sent us the Spice Girls. It's the perfect pop record. Everyone is going around singing Wannabe.
If you wanna be my lover.
The group's first album has already sold 6.5 million copies worldwide, an astonishing debut, now capped by the conquest of America.
Yes, be worried. The spice trade is spreading. It started with a ewe, cloning to produce identical sheep. Now it looks as though it's spreading. Yes, you've seen plenty of them already, the Spice Girls. This is them launching England's new TV network today, Channel 5. But have you met their clones? They don't call themselves the Spice Girls, no, that'd be illegal. They're the Angies, same look, same moves, not quite the same sound.
This to us is like one big adventure, and if as many people can join it, then that's excellent.
It was a challenge the Angies took up. Maybe they went a little far. What they had at an audition of more than 200 would-be pop stars were the qualities that Polygram Records in Bangkok were after. Record label wanted to create another Spice Girl sensation in Thailand. These young women were the closest they had. The first Spice Girls song, Wannabe, has already hit the Thai English charts. The Angies haven't got a song to rival it, but they reckon they dance better than the Spice Girls. And as for their singing, well, they hope to beat them at that too one day. Providing thoughtful insight into that point, 23-year-old band member Ankana Kongpasuk, who says, I love Vanessa Williams, Janet Jackson and Whitney Houston. The way they sing, I'd love to want to sing like them. It's difficult, good singers should be like them.
Love you, baby.
Well, if they want to be like Vanessa Williams and Janet Jackson, then it does beg the question, why copy the Spice Girls?
Spice Girls are influencing everything else. Not content with storming the record charts and joining Britain's election campaign, the Spice Girls have gone into print. They've just launched Girl Power at a record store, while fans jostled outside for what was supposed to be a secret signing. They've scored #1 hits with both their first single and album, and hope for similar success with their written foray.
I think obviously, you know, what we give off as individuals and the Spice Girls was needed maybe, otherwise the public wouldn't be buying it, so thank you, you lot.
Scary stuff.
I never performed live until now.
Fame, awards, the Spice Girls have it all. But when Liam Gallagher of Oasis taunted them, questioning whether they could keep up the quality in a live performance, the pop war began.
I just want to say, Liam, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
On an American TV show, they took up the challenge and went live for the first time. The pop world and you can sit in judgment. You may be convinced, but Oasis's record company boss certainly isn't.
They've been brilliantly marketed by their record company and they are a unique thing. But at the end of the day, you know, their music's rotten. Yeah, they're not a very good band.
Spice Girls have gone on television to demonstrate that those voices really are theirs and they can do it live. That seems to me to augur that there will be a tour in the offing quite shortly.
But some might say it doesn't matter how well they perform live, as they've sold nearly 10 million albums worldwide without a single concert.
Some say the Spice Girls shouldn't be fooling around with our culture.
We've got bastardisation of our culture already. We can understand them being touched by some of our culture, but surely there's got to be some consultation.
But their tutors say it was harmless fun.
We were trying to promote the culture, trying to make New Zealand. We're proud of the haka. We wanted to show off our haka, show off our country.
They saw it as just something that was fun. They jumped up, got into it, asked us a few questions about it.
They liked it so much, there's now talk the Spice Girls might include the haka in their music and videos. That worries Willie Jackson, who manages Moana and the Mole Hunters.
We consult experts, and we're Māori people. We've been Māori people our whole lives, and yet we still consult with the experts, and there's been no formal consultation on this from the Spice Girls.
If people object, I'd like to apologise for the fact that we have offended you.
The backlash might have soured their trip, not how they feel about the Spice Girls.
They're perfect people. They're just so much fun.
New Zealanders are wearing some heat from the latest controversy involving the Spice Girls. What started out as a bit of holiday fun for them and their pop idols has ended in a cultural clash.
It started out in innocence, the way that most things do. My FM listeners, Andrew and Michael, won a station promotion to spend 6 days in Bali with Ginger, Sporty, Posh, Scary and Baby. Obviously a great time was had by all in Bali, and one night at a romantic spice soiree, our two heroes showed Ginger, Sporty, Posh, Scary and Baby how to do the haka. I mean, you must have been a real hit then, teaching the Spice Girls how to do the haka.
Oh, we never meant to actually teach them, it was just sort of happened. So.
And what do you think of all the fuss that seems to have happened there?
Oh, I've said about it, really. If I wanted anything for the Spice Girls, yeah, we get some flack for it, and it's not a fair go. They're just there having fun with us. I mean, maybe it was the wrong thing to do. I'm not sure about all the married protocol behind it.
Today, all hell broke loose about the Spice Girls doing the haka.
I think that everyone's putting way too much importance on the kamati haka and the cultural significance. What these boys did, they're My FM listeners. They heard My FM saying, be proud to be Māori, we support the tikanga and the culture, and they stood up there and they took something Māori and they gave it to the Spice Girls.
Just I think that how it was recorded was irresponsible. There's no way that you look at any sort of violence in terms of the Spice Girls. They're a new young group, but they have to be made aware of their actions. And hopefully once they know how that type of action could offend Māori, they'll have a look at things. Meanwhile, Ginger, Sporty, Posh, Scary and Baby are back in the UK and back at their only known address, front page of the tabloids. Dylan Tate, 3 National News.
The Spice Girls arriving for tonight's gala performance and their first ever live concert in Britain. They walked in through the stage door at the back of the building. Shortly afterwards, Prince Charles arrived at the front. And this was the moment when girl power met the prince. Perhaps sensing His Royal Highness was a little bit anxious, Mel B, also known as Scary Spice, tried to put him at his ease.
I was asking you a question. Can we come to dinner, please?
After asking for an invitation to dinner, she then brushed off his protests and gave him a kiss.
I done a year ago. You've got lipstick on you now.
Emma, known as Baby Spice, asked about the young princes, but Jerry was more interested in their father and refused to spare his blushes.
Oh, no!
And then even more lipstick was applied to Charles's cheek. Who Do You Think You Are is the girl's latest hit. After tonight's encounter, the prince could be forgiven for thinking along the same lines. Especially after this rather cheeky gesture from Jerry. But thousands of fans would have loved to have swapped places with Charles tonight. It was only the Prince and a few hundred guests who were lucky enough to see the girls perform live. The rest of us will have to wait until the concert's televised in about 2 weeks' time.
Pop sensations the Spice Girls have created another stir. They've met Prince Charles and left him blushing. The girls are performing their first live concert for the Prince's Trust, and their introduction certainly breached the formal standards of royal protocol.
You know, I think you're very sexy. Oh, no! You are. I won't. Can we have a picture with you as well?
The young at heart, Prince revealed he knew all the girls' nicknames, but declined an invitation to have his tongue pierced like Spice Girl.
Yes, it's the Spice Girls again. They've just announced they're making a movie and upstaged some of the world's biggest stars.
Arriving at the festival's 50th anniversary party this evening, 800 of the film industry's biggest names. The Spice Girls weren't on the guest list, but the day had already been hijacked by Britain's most famous wannabes.
Giving you everything, all that joy can bring, this I swear.
Earlier, in front of the world's media, the girls launched their own film, Spice the Movie.
It's going to be us having a laugh, getting up to all sorts, on like a little adventure. It's going to be very kind of intense, but with a fun element, because that's what we do day in, day out.
Richard E. Grant will play the neurotic manager in a busy week in the life of the band. But the girls' latest acquaintance, Prince Charles, won't be starring.
No, I casted him and he wasn't that good. No. So I think
there
Charles,
is a casting couch.
Promising to be no less zany than the girls themselves, Spice the Movie is being co-written by absolutely fabulous star Jennifer Saunders. Filming starts in London next month, with the movie due to be released at the end of the year. And judging by the captivated journalist this morning, publicity shouldn't be a problem.
Achieving something even the Beatles couldn't manage. Their debut album has gone straight to #1 in both the British and American charts.
In New York tonight, the Spice Girls are celebrating conquering the American market. Their first album, Spice, has hit the top of the American charts. Their record company, Virgin, says they're the first British act ever to achieve that.
We came over here with an attitude of, we've got to start from square one. It's going to take a lot of work. Whereas I think a lot of bands come out here with a bit of an attitude of, you know, oh, we've been successful in Europe, so they don't have to work as hard. And I think we realised that we really had to start from scratch, really.
This isn't luck. We've worked bloody hard. Well done, girls. Well done. Thank you.
I think Spice Girls always do things in their own way. You know, whether it means breaking records or history, that's... But we don't set out to do that. That's part and parcel and what the public choose.
The girls have done what even the Beatles didn't do. Their first album was kept off the top of the American charts by their second one. So technically, their first album was never at #1.
That we had this conversation, I decided we should be friends.
Now that the Spice Girls have broken into one of the hardest markets in the world, music experts say they're set for several more years of success. The only thing that could stop them now would be a breakup.
And when they first got together after this ad in The Stage, placed by accountant Bob Herbert.
The secret of it was we found a gap in the market, and we looked for 4 or 5 girls who could fill that gap.
Oh, no!
2.5 years later, they'd gone from obscurity to this. New management, a PR firm called Brilliant, and a flustered Prince of Wales.
They've actually done a superb job really stretching the Spice Girls, I have to say rather limited appeal, to the most enormous, huge money spinner for everybody.
Who needs Victoria's autograph?
And the money comes, of course, from the fans. Smart pocket money this week's being spent on Spice Girls photographs, 90 pence a pack. Spice swapping is going on in a street near you. From a warehouse near Coventry, Spice Girls Limited operate a mail-order business, selling everything from jackets to mugs and T-shirts. Girl power is moving merchandise by the ton-load. 7 to 14-year-olds are clamouring to buy the stuff stacked up on the shelves around me here. It's reckoned even this small cog in the mighty marketing machine that is the Spice Girls will make them something like £1 million by the end of this year.
The Spice Girls will have one more huge album, then they'll have a greatest hits, and then they'll have disappeared.
But that's not an opinion shared by the legion of fans who'd love to follow in their footsteps.
But first, Spice Girls Wannabes. It's a song about the underfunding of the police force, and it's by a bloke in a Hurricanes jersey with, wait for it, the Wainuiomata Bowling Club on backing vocals.
We're better than the sophisticated surrounds of the public bar at the Pycott pub to source inspiration for a Spice Girls spoof.
If you want to stay in power, remember the election. 500 more police run to help with crime prevention. 500...
Sounds the same, doesn't it? But creator Mark DeLacy's not admitting to it.
No, it's not really like the Spice Girls, is it?
DeLacy says the song was born out of a frustration at the increase in violent crime and high numbers of cops leaving the force.
I just look at what's going on out there and try and you know, write humorous lyrics and so on to bring people's attention to the problem.
I picked up the phone, dialed 111. Operator's voice said, "Sorry, my son. We've already had an arson and a murder and a rape. You're listening to a pre-recorded audio tape."
If you want to stay in power, remember the election. 500 more police run to help with crime prevention. 500's what you promised, 500's what you said. Trash your flash computer, give us more cops instead. If you want to stay...
It was DeLacy's mate Brian who suggested the Spice Girl pop be integrated with rap.
Yeah, so he's been teaching me a bit of rap, so I thought I'd do a bit of middle-aged parky hard rap, you know. Bit of humour, eh, Brian?
Nothing wrong with white folk.
And with a white guy doing rap, Brian as best friend as a consultant, the Wainuiomata Bowlers on backing vocals, and posh, ginger, sporty, scary and baby for inspiration, how can you possibly go wrong?
If you want to stay in power.
This is Andy Brotherston for Nightline.